Hi guys, Chris here, and I'm with Kate.
Hello.
And we've just watched the Stadia Connect, which is basically Google's E3 conference.
Yeah.
Their first ever one. And it was very interesting. We got a lot of information about how it works and when it's coming out and the prices and all that. So we're going to jump straight into it and go through the conference and give our thoughts as we go along.
Okay.
So Kate's
I got some notes.
a bunch of notes she made.
I got some notes.
Because there was a lot of information.
Because I'll
really
forget.
fast.
I'll forget everything. Okay. Let's go. Right, so this is Google's way of making games accessible.
Yeah.
They said there'll be no downloads, no patches, no installs, because it uses their data center as the platform. So you just pick up and go, essentially.
I have a quick thought about that. I question the whole fact about patches because they're going to be downloaded at some point.
But they will do it, not us.
So yeah, but will there be? That makes me think: will there be a time where you won't be able to access the game? Like when you go on Overwatch and stuff currently, and they're patching Overwatch.
They're patching it today, maybe.
Yeah.
Or was it last night?
Yeah. But and you can't play it for a bit. I reckon there'll be something like that where they're downloading the patch at their end.
Maybe.
So you won't be able to play it for a bit. But other than that, that's saves you from doing it.
So this is this any screen deal. So basically, it's a TV, desktop, laptop, tablet, and currently it's Pixel phones.
It's this baby here.
Knew
I got it for a reason.
3A. So it's like if it has a Chrome web browser on it, or you can put the Ultra Chromecast into the back of your TV.
Yeah.
You can play it.
Yeah.
If your device supports one of them two things, it's a screen for the Stadia, essentially.
Which is just amazing.
And they said that they've got plans to expand to other phones and platforms, but I'm not buying this phone thing.
I think they'll bring it to a lot of Android phones, so they'll bring it to the Samsungs.
See now, I don't think they will. Because from Google's a business and Google make phones, so why would they let everybody on Android have it when they can essentially force people to buy a Google phone?
Because what they'll have in the app is obviously adverts.
Maybe.
That's how they'll make the money there. The only place I can't, phone-wise, I can't see this going is iPhones because Apple are Apple and they like to
keep it to
them. That they basically make sure their stores are very tidy and neat and have certain things in there and don't have certain things in there. So it's one of them. I'd struggle to see a day where Apple will have Stadia, but you never know.
So it's available in 14 different countries, and there's some additions that have been announced, essentially. So the biggest thing that got announced was this thing called the Founders Edition. And it's $130 and it launches this November. And in this pack, I think this is quite a good deal, to be fair. So we get a Night Blue controller, so that the Night Blue controller is only available in the Founders Edition.
It does look nice. It's a nice colour.
You get the chance to buy an extra controller for $69.99 dollars.
That's apparently what they're going to retail at anyway.
A little bit further on, I've got that someone has confirmed that they're like £60 to us in this country.
Yeah.
So around that price. You get a Chromecast Ultra. You get 3 months of the Pro subscription. We'll go on to the Pro subscription in a minute, like what it entails. You also get a Buddy Pass, so you get a 3 month Pro subscription to give to someone that you know, so you can play with them.
That's such a good idea.
And as you get it early, they're trying to say you can secure your username. So, if you want that name...
some people don't care about that stuff, but
I do.
There are some people who are I want my username.
Me too. I would quite like to keep my name. Because
the amount of people, Twitter, I can't have. What I originally wanted was Lemonhead, just Lemonhead, because someone's already got it. And every time, someone's already got it. So, the fact that you can get on there and you can even get your actual name, and no one will have it, more than likely.
Well, I guess it depends on how unique your name is.
Yeah, if you're John Smith, good luck.
another little thing that they kind of dropped into this is there was a new Destiny DLC. I don't know who's still playing. I know I certainly am not. And it's called this Shadow Keep, Eris Morn, Nightmares on the Moon, you know, what
There
else?
was a whole Destiny stream about it. Destiny's changing a lot. We'll touch on that in the next podcast probably, because when we do all our E3 news podcast. But yeah, it's crazy that just Destiny's completely changing as a platform as it is itself.
So essentially, if you have the Pro subscription, you get Destiny 2, the base game, all DLCs, including this new game, in with that subscription, and you can transfer your Guardian from Xbox and PlayStation
and PC
and PC over to the Stadia. PlayStation actually come out and confirm they are agreeing to it, because during the conference it said PlayStation to be decided, but they actually come out.
There was rumours about it the day before. It was up in the air, and apparently PlayStation agreed to it the day before the conference.
Typical.
I would love to be in that room.
So, but the catch is, you stop paying for the Pro subscription, you drop down to the free subscription that's coming, you lose access to Destiny.
Yeah, it's like PS Plus.
Yeah.
You say, for example, I've downloaded Rocket League on PS Plus. If I cancel my PS Plus, I can't play Rocket League anymore. Okay. That's generally how that works. It's the same thing.
So this Pro subscription that they're talking about, it's $10 a month. Again, you get, like, very much like PlayStation Plus, you get access to a free game library, you get exclusive discounts, and then we got some, like...
It is literally the same, the way I see it, is the same as PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live.
Essentially.
Gives you discounts off games, and gives you free games every month.
So with this Pro subscription, you get access to 4K, 60 FPS streaming, HDR, 5.1 surround sound.
Pretty damn good.
Stats. Business numbers. The free tier is going to drop next year, 2020, but it's got limitations essentially.
What's that called? Just Stadia base.
It just said free tier.
Okay.
So unless I don't know, I can't write that fast, guys. I can't get it all.
I remember Stadia base being mentioned, but whether that's built.
So it's limited to 1080p, 60 frames per second, and stereo sound.
You know what, like that, like some people will be happy with that.
Yeah.
Because some people don't have 4K televisions.
Well, I do, so I want the Pro.
And the thing is, like, the way I see it, like, if you're just going to play on your phone, like a lot of games are going cross-save now, with Destiny being one of them.
Yeah.
And I imagine other stuff, because Call of Duty is cross-play now. So I imagine you could play on your Xbox or whatever, and then move over to... If you bought it on Stadia as well, you could just literally transfer your save over to Stadia, play on your phone while you're out and about.
Yeah.
And I think 1080p or even maybe 720 would be fine on your phone. Like, it's not, you don't need 4K on your phone.
So there was some requirements as well to do with the speed of your internet, all that jazz. There's a little picture that will come up, but if you want to like...
Yeah, so basically 35 megabytes per second, they say you need for the 4K, the HDR, the big stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then anything between, I think the lowest is 10 megabytes per second you can play at 720.
It's 720, yeah, because I've got that one written down.
So like, if you got like 20 or something, the way I see it, you'd be playing at 1080.
Yeah.
So...
It's not bad,
you know
really.
what? I checked my internet speeds, like 40 something, so I can do 4K. There are some places, like a lot in America, that don't have the speeds, which is unfortunate. But like, the way I see this, if this thing's got doing this and it's got people wanting it, this just basically will force the internet provider's hand to better their speeds.
I feel like Corey told me that Google is an internet provider in America.
Yeah, Google Fiber, yeah.
So like, this is like, you know...
But it's only in certain areas.
A bit cheeky, isn't it?
Yeah, it's only in certain areas you can get Google Fiber. But in certain areas in America where you can't, and then the internet speeds are slow, like the rural areas and stuff, like Texas, stuff like that. So, but the way I see it, this kind of technology will push internet speeds to go up, just like Netflix did. So, hopefully. It won't be adopted by the whole world straight away. That's why they're bringing it out in 14 countries that they know a lot of people have the internet speeds, and then they'll expand to places with lower speeds. And they only said that it's going to get better. Like, the speeds will go lower in terms of what quality-wise what you get. So you can get 4K for lower eventually, because they'll be working on it. they said this in the original one. They'll be working on it getting it faster. So it'll only get better. And 35 megabytes per second is actually a decent internet speed to have. I expected higher, to be honest, for 4K especially. But yeah.
Business
Carry
numbers.
There's your specs.
Okay, so the controllers, very weird. I think they look like a cat. You know, you pick a cat up and a cat goes floppy because it doesn't get picked up.
That is a very weird.
The first time Corey showed me a picture of one, I was like, "That looks like a cat." Anyway, so there's the 3 basic ones that you can pick up if you don't get the Founders Edition. There's a white one.
Have they actually just called white?
I don't know if it's called
because you know how like the Google phones have that weird like almost white.
Yeah, maybe it is.
I feel like they've got those names.
Because I know the black one that's available is called just black.
Yeah.
But
they do that. Google do that, but then they've got wasabi, which is just actual colour.
Wasabi, obviously, I'm assuming wasabi is meant to be green, but it looks like a kind of minty.
It's minty green,
bluey.
Yeah,
I don't think it looks green. Yeah. But whatever.
I didn't know what colour wasabi was until this now. I never really heard of it.
So the white one, there's a white. So basically, white, black, some kind of green or blue, depending on your opinion. And they're saying they're like $70 each, but we know that they are £60 in the UK.
Yeah,
so,
basically.
And these controllers connect directly to the Google sort of servers, so it connects to them. So if you're playing on your television. And
you don't need a wire, basically.
You leave and then you start playing on your mobile or any other device, basically. The controller is automatically connected. Yeah. Because it doesn't connect to the device.
You don't have to sync it to any device. It doesn't connect to your device, it connects to them.
That is pretty cool. Could you imagine if it connected to your device and you were in your house and you pressed it, everything would turn on? Wouldn't it? So it has to be like that. It has to be. When we all lived in a house together, we all had Google phones.
How many people are just going to keep turning on the Google light?
We all had Google phones. We had the Google Home.
I still have a Google phone, thank you, Ben.
And so you'd go in the house, you'd be like, "Okay, Google," talking to the Google box. There you go. And everybody's phone would be like,
"I'm not sure how to help with that yet."
It's okay, Google. You take a break. Don't matter. It's fine, sweet. It's okay.
Okay, I won't worry.
Nice. But that's what I'm saying. Everybody's phone would just like go, "How can I help you?" Could you imagine that? In a house, like if we all had a Stadia, if we all had control, it would be chaos.
Well, I wonder, as it's Google, if it will have any integration with that. That'd be cool. If I can tell it to turn on with that.
Well,
did they say anything?
Well, the controller has a button, like a capture button, so like the PlayStation does.
Oh yeah.
And it also has a button for the Google Assistant.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I'm assuming, like she's in your boxes, she's on your phone.
Yeah.
I'm assuming
Google's everywhere now.
I'm assuming she can just do whatever.
Yeah, I do like that idea where you're like, I'm stuck on a level. Click the button.
Scrub.
How do I do this? And then it'll tell you. That's cool.
So you just want it as a cheap button because you can't get good.
Well, it saves you from going on separate YouTube, looking it up, watching it. It'll show you on the actual screen you're playing, which is cool. It's a bit cheating, but you know.
You can also use any supported controller. So at the minute,
it's basically any Bluetooth
we're thinking
controller.
It's USB and Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Supported. So PlayStation 4, Xbox, mouse, keyboard, that kind of stuff.
I don't know if Switch will.
The Switch is not going to work for this. It's not.
The controller might.
It can't.
The Pro controller might.
Maybe the Pro, not the. I
can't see the Joy-Cons working.
No.
Though. Never know though.
So for the people in the UK, I have the prices. There is a chart coming up with everybody's prices, but for just for us, special shout out to us. The Founders Edition is £120.
No, that's not even that.
And for
it's
£190 for all that stuff, that is a bargain. I personally feel.
Yeah, considering like you think of the value of like all of Destiny is at least if you bought it all at launch. A lot of money. But say you bought the one in September that's coming out with all this.
That's like £60.
It's like 50 quid-ish. Then you've got the controller, which is 60 quid.
£60.
You've got the bloody Chrome thingy, which is like a good 70 quid. That's already made up the money.
Because it has to be the one that's a circle, because I have the USB dongle one. It doesn't work on that. If you've got that one,
it has to be the new one.
Forget about it. It's got to be the round one.
Yeah.
The Pro subscription is $8.99 a month.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good.
$10 in America.
Yeah. And a controller, like we said before, is £60, and that is the end of my segment. So I will put my book down. But I think for the Founders Edition, like when they were talking about it, I was thinking like £300. £350, and then they were like, by the way, it's £120, and I was like, bro.
The way I was thinking about this, yes, the reason that shocks us is because like new like releases of like hardware or whatever, like we're always used to like dropping 350 quid
£60.
or 450 quid for the console first.
Yeah.
This is why this seems so cheap to us.
Yeah.
And it's like crazy to think that you don't even need that. Like that you don't even need the console or anything. It's there.
I think for somebody who doesn't already have consoles, this is a great way to get into it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not really bothered about exclusives, I think this is a good thing to have.
I mean, what, they have exclusives?
No, I mean like Xbox, PlayStation exclusives.
Yeah.
Because if we get this, like, our PlayStation and Xboxes are going to turn into exclusive machines. When the next gen comes out, if we're using this, you get the PlayStation 5, I get the Xbox Anaconda or whatever. We switch consoles when we want. Do you know what I mean? It's not a problem with this.
Yeah.
So I'm all for this. When it first got announced, I was a bit like, but the more I'm getting into it, I'm thinking actually, you know what? It's a good deal. I'm
interested to see how well it takes off. Because it's new. And remember when Netflix moved away from... Because originally Netflix was a like video rental, DVD rental service. And they sent you out the discs.
I didn't even
and
know
everything. Like, and when Netflix moved from that to streaming, everyone hated on it. Everyone was like, why is this shit? This is new, we don't like this. And then they moved to streaming and everyone loved it eventually. I think it's going to take a bit of a while to take off. But...
The one thing I don't like about digital games, and it's me personally, because I don't really know many people apart from me and Jake who buy like special editions. I've got a lot of special editions of a lot of my favourite games, and I like that physical content that comes with it.
Yeah.
And if all games move to digital, then it becomes all DLC, and I like physical things. Like I bought the Resident Evil 2 one, it had statues, it had everything in it. I like that. I'll pay the money for that. And if it all goes digital, if it's all on this Stadia and whatever, and Xbox's new console doesn't have a disc tray, I'm not going to get physical editions anymore because people will just stop making them, and that makes me sad because I really like.
It is a shame. Like physical media is getting. I mean, it got pushed out in music. It's getting pushed out with streaming like Netflix and stuff. So it's in every media, like films, music. It's going the same way with games, and it's crazy to think Microsoft came out with this
years ago.
Like when the Xbox One launched, everyone hated on it. But you look at it now, and you're like, everyone's loving the exact thing they were trying to sell. I think it's the wording back then.
We were like watching that in Jake's house, and they said they were taking the disc tray away. And especially me and Jake, because me and Jake, like, we've always
everyone was losing their minds.
We've always been broke. Like, we've always been broke. So through school and everything, we always share games, and taking that away from us, it was like the biggest thing. It's like no, because how are we going to share games? How are we going to lend each other games and stuff? And obviously now there's ways around it. There's the sharing passes and all that. But back then it was like, no, you can't do that because we need to share.
And I can't honestly remember now. Like I hated on it back then. Like a lot of people did, and I can't remember now. That's physical game I bought. We'll just go for what games have been announced for it first. They announced a few good things during the conference. At launch, you're going to have 31 games from 21 different publishers. And they gave a big splash screen of all the publishers. There's some actual good ones. It's not like the Ouya. So
don't be rude.
Rest in peace, Ouya. It's actually dead now. So from Larian Studios, who bought Divinity Original Sin, I think it was.
Oh, I love those
and all
games.
them. They're making Baldur's Gate 3. It's actually real. Like that's been rumoured for ages, and that's going to be apparently a Stadia and PC exclusive.
I'm excited to play this because I know a lot of you guys that watch Bioware Bays are like, you're going to talk about Baldur's Gate, and me and Jake are like, we've never played it, and apparently there's like they're doing 1 and 2 again. They're like
remaster. Well, either remaster or porting them to the Switch.
So I think me and Jake will probably pick those up and play them in like a Bioware Bays play thing, getting ready for the third one.
Not going to be Bioware.
No, but you know,
it's related.
If people are asking for it, they can have it.
Basically, quick thing, because Baldur's Gate was announced. Quick little details about Baldur's Gate. It's an epic RPG, the studio's biggest game they've ever done, and they had to triple the size of their studio to make it, which
And you could tell
You can
they cared about it.
Yeah.
Like
The guy said he pitched this ages ago that he wanted to make Baldur's Gate 3, so people that own Baldur's Gate 3, or Baldur's Gate just in general, and they rushed him off, and then they come back later going, "You're the guy after he made Divinity." He's like, "You're the guy that wanted to make Baldur's Gate," and he's like, "Yeah." And then they're like, "Okay, you can make it now."
I did enjoy this. Like we had a few. Is it Xbox 360? Maybe Divinity.
No, I can't remember what it was on. I never played them.
And it was very, very good. So the trailer was wild, like.
Yeah, some crazy shit went on.
So like, Sky turned like it was like a medieval
alien
night guy, and
on.
then he turned into like a squid. Like it was wild.
Well, it's Cthulhu shit going on.
Wild, yeah, definitely.
So you got them. You got Coatsink, which I can't even remember what they made, but they've got a Stadia exclusive game called Get Packed, which is basically, from what we can gather,
Overcooked.
It's Overcooked mixed with Gang Beasts about packing
up a
stuff
house
away to move.
Yeah.
It's a very weird premise, but it looked fun.
It did look good.
Which is,
4-player.
2020 apparently, and it's got ridiculous physics. So,
yeah.
Very Gang Beasts / Overcooked.
Even the logo looks like the Overcooked. Like we thought it was going to be from the people that made Overcooked.
I don't think it is. Then you got Tequila Works, who I think did Rhyme, which I loved. Done a game called Guilt, which is also a Stadia exclusive.
That looks very, very good.
This is a horror game of a young girl trying to escape from monsters, and it seems to be set in like a school or something like that.
If you've seen The Quiet Place, they kind of look like the aliens from The Quiet Place, or monsters, whatever they are. They look like those.
The vibes I got from that game is very Little Nightmares kind of style. But it looked really fun. I think
it looks like as well the kind of game where it's about keeping quiet.
Yeah.
Because I was saying shh, don't make noise.
Yeah. And then she was running.
Yeah, but they said don't run, didn't it? And she was sneaking around, so it looks like we have to kind of like the lickers in Resi, essentially, don't run past them or they'll hear you.
Yeah, basically. And then there's a massive list of games that obviously have already come out, already been announced, coming for it. So I'm just going to go through quickly. You got Bandai Namco bringing Dragon Ball Fighters and Xenoverse.
That for Dragon Ball?
Or is that the same game? Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Is that what it's called? I don't even know.
I don't know.
I'm not a Dragon Ball gamer.
I watched the anime. I don't play the games.
You got Bethesda with Doom Eternal, Doom 2016, Rage 2, The Elder Scrolls Online, Wolfenstein Young Blood, which I'm surprised they're not bringing the other Wolfenstein games. But okay.
I am shocked that Skyrim's
I'm
not
also shocked that Skyrim's not on there, because come on, Todd Howard.
We literally, like, 2
days
ago,
you need Skyrim on everything.
We was all saying Skyrim, like me,
you know what?
you, Jake and Nate from like Skyrim's got to be a launch on Stadia. It's got to be.
That's going to happen at the Bethesda conference.
It
could. You got Codemasters with Grid, Deep Silver with Metro Exodus, Drawl with Thumper. Oh, they made that. Deep Silver with Metro. Oh, hang on, I'm going back now.
You're going back on yourself.
Giant Software with Farming Simulator 19.
Whoa!
Woo.
Surely it's worth getting the Pro subscription just to play that game.
Inway Games with Power Rangers Battle for the Grid.
That's going to be sick.
Sega with Football Manager.
Sega!
Alright. Calm down. SNK with Samurai Showdown. Square Enix with Final Fantasy 15.
Yes, lads.
Tomb Raider Collection.
The new collection, so like Tomb Raider,
not the original.
Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
2K Games with NBA 2K and Borderlands 3.
Whoop.
Warner Brothers with Mortal Kombat 11. THQ with Darksiders Genesis. Ubisoft with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Just Dance, Tom Clancy's The Division 2, Trials Rising, The Crew 2, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. And then Electronic Arts, Capcom and Rockstar Games to be decided what games they're going to put on there, but they've already said they're going to put some on there.
I have a question.
I also have a question, but you go.
If Just Dance is coming to it,
how
does that?
Yeah, that's my question.
Does that work?
How is this working? Is it your phone?
How does it like monitor? Because Just Dance monitors your body.
Yeah. Like they've done it on the Wii with motion controls.
Mm-hmm.
It's like maybe your phone.
Maybe.
The guy will explain that. I imagine they might touch on that in a Ubisoft conference, but like I was thinking the exact same thing last night. How is that working?
Yeah, the new Ghost Recon gameplay showed something very, very interesting.
Yeah, they showed a little bit of gameplay for that.
Punisher
with
in
something
the
exclusive to
forest.
Stadia, I think, where it's obviously a co-op game, so you can see your other three teammates' screens on your screen, so you can see where they are and what they're doing and stuff, which is pretty cool. I imagine you can turn that off or whatever. But overall, I'm impressed about it, and I'm excited to see. Like, this is, I've never, in many years I've been gaming, I never know the point where, like, literally this is like game changing.
Yeah.
This kind of thing, like the way we're the point we're at a precipice now in gaming where it's literally going to change the way we play and the accessibility of games. Like, you can play it anywhere now. Literally, like the Xbox's thing saying play anywhere is actually becoming a real thing everywhere. You know what I mean? It's crazy to think. Like, I've known all my life, you buy a console, you play a game in a console. Like, I've dabbled with PC stuff, but like that's been my gaming life for like since I started gaming, and now don't need any of that really. You just play it wherever on anything, and that's mental. That's crazy to me.
It's not something that's like necessarily like, oh, this is the best thing that ever could happen to us.
No.
But
it's the start.
It's ease of access. It's, you know, they also said, like, you don't need a subscription. You can just buy games for it. So it's not even that big.
So
of a
even
commitment.
like not big gamers, they see a game and they like the idea of it. They don't have to buy, like someone who doesn't game at all, and they see a game like, oh, I like that. They don't have to buy a console, a PC.
They haven't got to buy a controller. If
anything.
they've
They don't even
already got
have to buy a controller. If they've got something they can already play it on, controller-wise, they can just, all they need is either a TV and the Chromecast, which you can argue that's like the console bit of it.
Yeah.
But even if you got a PC, any screen you can play on your phone. Like, you don't need the TV.
Yeah.
And you can just play it, and you don't have to buy a £400 console, which is just crazy to me.
Exactly.
But yeah, Stadia I'm excited about.
Me too.
They're still going to prove it can work overall. Like, that's why I think the Founders Edition is starting in November. They're getting a certain amount of people in, because it is like, you can't just, not everyone can get into it. Like, it's eventually the amount they're going to run out. Like, because they want to, I imagine they'll start with a certain number of people and then build it to, so they can, when the free version comes out.
If you think about it, however many units they ship, it's double that because of the buddy pass.
Well, yeah.
Unless you keep the buddy pass for yourself and have 6 months, unless they don't let you do
I don't think
that.
that works, because I think it'll come with like a make a new stadium name kind of thing.
Maybe.
I'd imagine. But yeah, it's a crazy new video game world now. It's just changing.
And
drastically
across E3.
Yeah, this E3's mental.
They said to expect more game drops for Stadia.
Yeah.
So this isn't it.
No.
But until it happens, we won't know what's going on.
Yeah. That's basically a Stadia.
We're hyped about it.
Yeah, we are.
A few of us are thinking of getting the Founders.
I know Corey's interested in it. But we'll see. I'll be honest, I'm waiting to see what Xbox offer first, because they've got their xCloud thing going on. I want to see what they offer first to see, because I've got an Xbox already. You know what I mean? I don't have to buy anything extra if it's just a extra like little subscription, I think, something like that. So we'll see. See what happens. But I'm hyped.
Me too.
I'm hyped about video games are cool.
You know who's not cool? You.
But yeah, I think that's about it, guys.
Yeah, that's it for now.
Cool.
More coming.
Yeah, we're going to be watching, we'll probably see a bunch of reactions to the other conferences and other like videos like this where we discuss the conferences coming up this week. So we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
If you like that video and want to see more like it, then click this playlist button here. If you happen to want to subscribe to us and check out all our content, then click this amazing sexy button right here. Look how enticing it is. You know you want to click it. And if you're already subscribed to us, well then you are already an awesome human being.